Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Hernandez.
Thank you very much for listening. By the way, we posted a couple of episodes that some of you may not be getting unless you subscribe. So make sure you hit the subscribe button on whichever platform you listen so that you don't miss a thing. Okay? All right. Thank you always for your comments, your feedback, that kind of thing. Here's one. Keith and Hernandez.
Hello.
I was recently going through a hard time.
I'm so sorry. What happened?
I'll spare you the details, it says.
Oh, that's so nice of you.
And my friend,
I was busy.
Just understand it was tough.
Okay.
And my friend wrote me.
I feel like I need a level of toughness next time, but I feel
Right.
like we'll get the gist as the email goes on.
Somebody died, yada, yada.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah.
My friend wrote me about how listening to your podcast helped him out when he was going through his divorce. He didn't give me much info other than, quote, you'll see, listen to one episode, you'll want to punch Keith. On the second episode, you might yell at the girl along with him.
That's not nice.
And by the third episode, they will both be your new best friend.
That is how we make friends.
I honestly couldn't tell if that was a good or bad review, but I listened. I'm not sure I ever wanted to punch Keith, but I'm sure I yelled at both y'all sometimes. I talk to the both of y'all in my head now. Y'all help me make decisions in my life that I can tolerate. My friend was right. Keith and the Girl makes my life better. And I decided to pay it forward. I emailed 3 friends and told them to listen to 3 episodes and tell me what they think. If they like it, I'll ask them to tell 3 people. I see it as my way of making the world a better place. 3 Keith and the Girl listeners at a time.
By the way, for those who didn't watch the movie Pay It Forward, that is so what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hope that you will be coming out to Chicago soon. I think you'll do well. I'll bring the 3 listeners that I turned on to the show. And they'll bring their 3. And, well, you get my meaning.
I'm coming to Chicago.
Yeah, next thing you know, people are falling out the windows. Thank you for all you do, Henry David. P.S.
Actually, Henry, I really do think that's the way to do it. Thank you.
Right. P.S. Who the fuck is Andrea and how can I marry her? Well, I think with that attitude, you just did it. Just answered your own question, my friend.
According to Canadian rules, that is the way they get engaged. So I think she's all in right now. Also, happy birthday, Libby Phillips.
Ooh.
One of my BFFs, the person who, oh my God, lots of pieces of the show could not exist without it. Through my tumor.
Mm-hmm.
She was the greatest. I will put her in #1 spot, the greatest. I love her more than my husband now. How do you guys feel about that? At Raging Apathetic. Congratulations.
30 years young.
Oh, you love saying that. You love saying the crossover.
All right.
Attention, Libby is no longer in her 20s. Go tell her on Twitter that you know.
And if you want to marry her, you know, things are drying up, so get on it.
Oh. Hard pass to everyone.
Harry's Razors. I tell you about them. But some of you, I got to be honest, I see you on the street, you look disgusting. Get Harry's Razors.
This is what I got Libby for her birthday. She has never appreciated me more.
You look younger, and you get a nice shave, and you're not paying $6 million. You don't got to say, can you open up the theft-proof cabinet for me, please?
That is the tone you have to use to open up the theft-proof.
I'm not doing it anymore.
That's right.
I have the razors delivered right to my house, $2 a blade. Compare that to that bullshit you're doing.
That bullshit you call life.
It's all on this copy. It's odd. But they're a fun company. Stop messing around. Get started shaving with Harry's today by claiming your free trial offer. It's a $13 value. First of all, that's very inexpensive. But anyway, $13 value is for free. Just cover shipping. Get your free trial set. That includes a razor handle, 5-blade cartridge, shave gel. Go to Harry's, HARRYS.com, Harry's.com/KATG, Harry's.com/KATG. And that's what's going on.
That's 5 blades for not. That's like for nothing. Here's what you do if you're about to go camping.
Mm-hmm.
You could bring that with you. Just throw it out. Who gives a shit?
Right. They're giving you their trial set for free, $3 shipping. So maybe you're like, it's a scam. Shipping's $1 million. $3. You're welcome. Harrys.com/KTG. Today's guest, you're in for a good time. Artist, comic, creator, and host of Art School Acid Dropout, Artist Collective podcast and live show. Well, this is some title for the show. Okay, we'll work on phrasing. His animation and designs have been featured in NBC, CISO, Comedy Central. Come on now. Grant Lindahl. How you doing, Grant?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, guys.
Certainly.
Thanks for being here. I believe the first time we met, you were on some heavy drugs.
Maybe. That's every other week, apparently. No, it's less than that, but probably.
I want to get to your drugs for a second, but before we start, last time we were in here, it was right before my one, well, let's say I have 2 holidays a year. One's my birthday. That lasts all year. And the
To
other one...
celebrate, she smokes.
Right, all year. And then the other one is 420.
To celebrate, she smokes.
That's right. Yeah, and to celebrate that everyone should at least give it a go one time. Hear that, children? Okay, 18 and over for tobacco use only. Anyway, so this year, because, Keith always makes fun of the potheads, like, you smoke every day. What's the difference between now and 420? And I'm just like, Keith, you're right. This is you get one right time a year, and you're right on this one. And I decided to drop acid instead, making this like a much more okay. So it's me and hubby face, and because of the marathon.
To be clear, you've never done acid before, right?
I did it one time.
Okay,
and it was glorious. Oh,
What kind of acid was it on a paper?
the good kind.
Or was it on like a
good.
sugar cube? Or?
Well, the one that we did before was on a paper. It was perforated. I can hardly say that word, but I love it. I love when things are perforated. I don't know why. And I always have a hard time. I feel like my heavy hands will just like fuck up everything because I'll just destroy it.
it's fun like bubble wrap.
It is fun like bubble wrap. Yeah. Yeah, you look like an idiot playing with it, but you can't get over it. Absolutely. So the second time we also, so he didn't have enough time because of the marathon, and I drive him crazy before our big events to like really look for the acid that he got, from the same place as last time. It takes a while, blah, blah, blah. So he got this like last minute thing, a friend of a friend this time. Not our favorite source. We like to do the friend instead of friend of a friend, but, reliable sources.
Hernandez is one of these people that pretends she knows where the source is.
Totally.
Like,
oh, yeah.
It's fine because I know how
Right.
the meth was put together.
It's fine because my friend of his friend doesn't want me to die. Who would want that? My friends want good things for me, and acid sounds like a reasonable way to go about life like that. So we got it. And it was on a piece of paper again this time. And I heard about the sugar cube thing. But it was on a piece of paper. This time the piece of paper was a little harder. And I'm like, this doesn't seem like the same scientists that put together the other one. And I'm a little wary about this one. And he's like, the worst that can happen is nothing happens. And I'm just like, all right. And he goes, take 2. And I'm like, what do you mean take 2? And just like, last time I took 1 and I was like so happy. What if that's my zone with acid? He goes, I'm sorry, baby. We're going next level today. Don't waste my time.
Wow.
And I'm just like, you know best. And I stuck out my tongue, put the 2 in there. Because my theory was we go for an hour on acid. It kicks in. We're like, yes, more of this. And once you have that, then you take the second tab. So you're not like, more of this, like timing. Anyway, I took the 2 because I'm so brave.
What time of day was this when you took it?
It was very important that it was still light out. So it was like right before 420, haha.
Okay, that's fine.
Hilarious, LOL, we have a backyard. So we wait there, and I always want to be like, okay, I swallowed the thing. Ooh, like I want it to just like happen, and it doesn't happen. And 20 minutes later, it doesn't. And 30 minutes later, it doesn't. And 40 minutes later, it doesn't. And we had, you guys... We had a regular old 420 with like 10 to 20 blunts. I mean, boring, snooze fest. We are an old married couple. What's going on?
So the acid never took?
It never took, no. So we're owed an acid day.
Right.
Well, actually, that can lie dormant in you, and it might just happen randomly, and you might have an acid attack.
You saying?
Might happen right now.
An acid attack? I mean, I'd rather have an acid attack than an asthma attack, I think, at this point. What do you think? Let's compare.
Ooh, I've had some pretty bad acid attacks.
You've had acid attacks?
I've had one, well, on shrooms. I didn't have an acid attack, but I've had some pretty scary, weird things happen on acid.
Where like, you didn't know you were about to be on shrooms and all of a sudden you were and it attacked you?
Well, like, basically not being able to sleep for, like, 2 days. That's the problem. The not sleeping is the worst part.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Is that, do you guys, okay, it's gone. Never mind.
Okay.
Everything was
I
normal.
didn't hear anything. It's all good.
That is
Keith cannot wait to mess with people on drugs. It's like the most evil thing you can do. Yes, say hello to my mother-in-law, everybody. She's listening. Hi, everybody.
Well, that's the scariest part about acid, right? When you hear the stories that it can come back anytime.
Well, I used to see it when I worked at a grocery store when I was 16, and for most of my life, I've been extremely straight edge, and I was like, I'll never do drugs, because this woman that I worked with, she worked in the floral department at this grocery store, and she, like, I guess cracked her back really hard one day and released some acid from the 90s, and it was snowing, and she, like, had a weird moment where she just kind of, like, stared at the window as it snowed and was really scared of the snow for, I don't know, like 3 hours.
And then what?
I don't remember.
She ate herself.
I just feel like of all the attacks, staring at a window and being scared of snow, I don't know.
Yeah, but
know?
Not knowing if you're. I guess for me at the time, that was really scary. Just seeing an adult.
Of course it is. I'm making light of it, but
Yeah.
that's fucking scary as fuck. Of course,
Yeah,
all of a sudden
true.
your universe alters, and you didn't take drugs for like 10 years.
Yeah,
yeah, that's foul.
She didn't eat her hand or anything. I wonder how common that is, though.
Eating your hand?
I don't ever, or like getting really hurt while on acid. I mean, we have bath salts now to do that shit.
Yeah, I always want to chime in to sound like the expert acid person because I did it once and it was glorious for me. But I can't discount that other people are having a nightmare on this thing. But right now I'm in the excited stages of drugs, and I know that's very insufferable to a lot of people, but I'm so having a good time. Happy birthday, Libby, everyone. I mean, right? If
Happy
you have
birthday.
acid and you're over 25, consider it.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree. I think my girlfriend actually did it for the first time with me last month, and now she's reading all these books. She's like very organized and likes to do research.
You mean I could possibly want to read after the next acid trip?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God, I'm about to be smart, you guys.
It changes your whole personality.
Yes.
We've talked about these shows, of course, in I guess they're everywhere, but in New York I see it a lot, where stand-up just isn't enough. You got to do kooky shit. And taking drugs seems to be something that's getting more and more popular. You have to take acid and then do stand-up, that kind of thing. Have you done that?
I mean, I've been on almost all of the Only One Tripping shows, but I haven't really done stand-up on it. I mostly sit on stage and I draw all the comedians.
What an exciting show. So you take acid and you sit down and you draw.
Yeah, and
while the comedians
are performing,
Okay.
so you see the drawings get weird. And then I usually do what you do. I mess with the people on drugs. So I usually
because they
prank
try
them
to.
and
It
stuff.
feels like they try to mess with you first because you sort of have like, for lack of a better word, a prop on stage, right?
Yeah.
Like you have something to reference, and so the comedian is like jacked up on this thing. And I'm not saying again they're not eating their hand, but one is like wondering if the sign is moving, and nobody wants to tell him that the sign is moving because he just can't figure out
Yeah,
if it's the
we
drugs
made
or
that.
not. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And so eventually they turn to Grant and it's like, what are you up to? And it's like, do you really want me to show you the drawing of you right now while you're tripping? Yes!
Like, I filled a beer bottle with fake blood once, and I was dressed I always do a theme costume, and I was a goth, and I looked like a demon. I had all these different masks I'd put on when they'd look away, and so I'd have like a old German opera mask.
Right.
And one time they would talk to me, I'd switch the bottles of beer with the blood, and I would put a bunch of blood in my mouth and just have it drip down.
No.
And they would go, and then they look away, try to do their set. And and
That's so mean.
I was like tired of it. Made me so uncomfortable being on drugs too, of them just talking to me, because I don't want to talk, because I don't feel like talking when I'm on drugs. So
We asked the audience, do you celebrate 420 in a way different than every day? And one person, it's anonymous, but one person said yes.
It wasn't me because I take these way too seriously.
The polls.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I sit in front of them and I'm like, I want to say yes because we make it a party, but I know Keith will judge me because it's the same kind of party I have with the same goddamn people on a Tuesday night. So I don't know. Is it different? Grant, help me.
I don't. Okay,
You're celebrated by eating cardboard.
That's
Sounds
true.
like.
That's true.
I really only smoke weed maybe 3 or 4 times a year, and one is 420 though.
Okay.
That's when people have it. But
I wonder who the one person is that said is like, you know what? It's a trick from Hallmark, and I will not smoke on 420. I treat every day like it's 420, so.
I liked our buddy Nathaniel wrote, he put this up on Instagram, and it was a thing where he asked for time off, and it's like request time off on 420, reason why, religious holiday. And I was like, yeah, questionnaires.
I did. Somebody gave us, and I know they're they're all different potencies, but gummy bears, weed bears, and I took one of them, and it wasn't so crazy, but maybe I don't know, 2 hours passed, and I'm laying on the bed, and then somebody happened.
Maybe 2 hours passed.
Yeah, and then something. I was tired anyway. I wasn't like,
sure,
when's this gonna kick in? It's an hour 45 minutes.
I was gonna party anyway, but I also had beer.
So somebody called me on my phone, and the light lit up, and I see it on the ceiling. I'm like, whoa. And then it goes away, and I'm like, oh.
See, I feel like certain drugs give you an appreciation for your day to day.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
Don't you think it's crazy that we have phones that light up in our pocket when somebody tries to reach us immediately, like just right away from another country, from anywhere in the world? Okay, somebody's high, and I just blew their mind.
And then I noticed, like, my skin was very sensitive, so I started masturbating. It was the greatest.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've masturbated on dabs, and it's pretty great.
So good.
It's fantastic.
It's like a new dick.
Yeah.
A new dick,
pretty
who
much.
dis?
You're 14 again.
Yeah. So there you go, gummy bears.
Have you had sex on it yet?
No.
Okay, you know how you enjoy masturbating so much?
This will be even better.
Can you
You're
imagine?
saying, I really can't imagine. I really can't imagine. I don't know. Plus, when you're masturbating, you don't have to worry about another person at all.
Oh, so you
know what I
went
mean?
for it.
Yeah, so I'm
I
like,
see.
who knows what's going to happen? Let's see.
Next time you want to think about your partner while you have sex. But when I masturbate, I don't have to think about anybody.
Yeah.
I get you, but there's like an extra level somewhere in having sex with other people.
I'm just saying, if I'm experimenting with drugs, be a gentleman and do it to yourself first.
I could see, like, he wants to get into S&M, but he wants to do it to himself first.
Yeah.
I can see that.
That's fair. Very consensual of you, Keith.
You also have to get really good at lock picking.
That's true. There's some things that's better with a partner, but you're right. Kanda, did you go and find a record for Record Store Day? Conjure One. It's out for the first time on vinyl, the album that features Kanda, and it comes with a free download. So you can have the coolness of a vinyl and a way to actually hear it. So that's very exciting.
Did I tell you this? When they first wanted clearance to release the vinyl, I heard from the record label, and they were like, look, we're not going to be able to pay you. You'll have to forego royalties for this. Are you still in? And I'm like, why would they? Am I such a piece of shit that they won't even? Why do I have to forego? And I'm like, how do I say this nicely, but also like not accept this?
Right.
But
Did
also,
Sinead O'Connor forego? Did Poe forego?
all of these things I
Yeah.
want to ask. I'm just like, why me or all the artists? So I was like, I don't get. I was like, you know what? Just write your truth, and that's what I've been. I'm like, just write your truth. So I'm like, I don't get it. So I just hit forward, and I go, I don't get it. Not sure how come I'm foregoing this since you're reselling the album. I don't understand the correlation.
Oh, we realize we get more money if we keep it.
Right.
So this time around, we're not going to give you money.
But I was trying to write like an adult email, like, in lieu of, like, who gives
Right.
I was like, I don't get it. I'm an artist. I don't understand why I keep thinking people expect more from me. Like, just give,
Right.
that's normal. And so she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I did not mean like forego all royalties. By the way, I must get like a penny every time somebody buys it. And I enjoy all of those pennies because when I get like the cute little royalty check, I'm like, we're going to brunch. Like, or just, what kind of brunch do you want? What's your favorite brunch? And my husband's like, I don't understand why you think I'm suddenly so interested in the most fabulous brunch in the world. But yes, let's go somewhere. Let's rejoice on your $25 check.
So what's some of the money?
Oh, so the clarification was, and I'm really glad I didn't go nuts on these people, is that the MP3 download would not have royalties because no one's getting paid and it's free.
I see.
But the other stuff is, and I'm like, oh yeah, should have seen that. Totally cool. Everything's cool. That's what I meant too.
Yeah, I make that deal with all my albums. Yeah.
But I think my tone was appropriate enough. Yeah. Oh yeah. So Conjure One's out, and I'm like gleaming, and then I realized I don't know anything about record stores, and they're sort of like I was looking online, and they're like, make sure you get to know your record store person, things like that, because I realized it's like going into a thrift store thrift store a lot of times and saying like, do you have, whatever version of that, like the collection from 1997 of like Vera Wang something. And they're not going to like be interested in looking for your stupid record. And I learned that, and I still call the record store because I didn't want to go like everywhere. I had other shit to do also.
You had to visit a Blockbuster and...
Well, somebody made me go to a museum and watch a terrible stand-up show yesterday, and she's having a lovely birthday, and I'm not gonna shit on it. It was very lovely. I was high. So anyway, what was my point? Oh yeah, so I called in Astoria one, thinking I could just ride my bike to it, get excited, take a picture with it, and it's over. So I call up and I go, hey, do you have like the Conjure One thing for Record Store Day? Is it like a thing that I can ask you if you had? And he goes, no. I'm like, yeah, I figured. This is some sort of like cool element that I'm not privy to, that I'm just going to be. So I forgot. I was like, don't do that. Go to the store. It's Record Store Day. Like the whole idea is for everyone to like be browsing and be part of the culture. So I go, now I'm intimidated. Now I'm just like, I'm the not cool, not record having person. I'm not understanding what I'm allowed to ask and not ask.
How's everybody doing? I didn't call earlier.
Yeah. I was about to call back and ask a different question. I'm like, how many people are calling his record store? But I go to a different one in Manhattan, and it's very indie, and I'm just like, I don't, my record is indie, but like of all things, why would they take? Who cares? I ask someone very sheepishly. I'm just like, you might be in the middle of something. Like, what is wrong with me? Like, why am I now a 5-year-old? I'm in a record store. Just ask them. But I'm like, do you happen to have Conjure One?
Featuring me.
Yeah, right? And I'm just like, please say yes. And I'm going to get all giddy. But I'm afraid to, like, say anything more. And she's like, no. And I go, she's like, I don't think so. But ask those people. And I go, it's part of, like, maybe you're part of Record Store Day that's happening. She's like, yeah, I know about Record Store Day. I'm just like, I cannot be cool. I cannot be cool in this situation. I am the biggest dork in the room. And so they didn't end up having it. I go to another place, and I'm just like, Conjure One, you might know it. It might be. And then I realized, I don't know. I'm so bad at, like, what section it's in, like, what's R&B and what's whatever. But I'm like, world music. And I'm like, nobody says world music anymore. I know that's not a thing. I'm like, I think it's electronic. And somebody browsing goes, I wasn't talking to her, somebody browsing goes, yeah, Conjure One is definitely electronic. And I'm like, you know my music! You know it! You know it! That counts!
And Hernandez goes, thank you for helping!
Thank you.
Wait a minute, is that... Oh, you put it together.
Do you know... I have to take a picture of myself with this expression because I know it happens, like that wanting to say something. I'm just like, wait, you know it? How do you know it? Don't ask that. Don't ask that. Right. Don't ask that. That's really shitty.
It's so good, right?
Right. Yeah. Do you know how many times that girl Hernandez on it?
I think you should secretly form a fan club in New York and go in disguise.
I would totally blow it. I would just be like, this mustache is totally comfortable on me. So finally I go to the third one. I'm thinking the third one is going to be great because it's like a way less indie record store. I hate to say it, but they probably have a bigger budget to buy more of the Records Day stuff. Lo and behold, there's a line around the goddamn corner. People have lists in their hands. Believe me, I wanted to check their list to see if Conjure One was on that. I thought that might have been too much. There was that hesitation. And so I was like, I can't stand in line here. I have to, like, go to this next thing. And I didn't get to see it. But then I was like, oh, that's so anticlimactic. But I checked online, and other people were posting that they got it. And my life was complete, and my ego is so giant right now.
Kind of passed Vistaprint cards out to people in line. Check out the new Conjure One re-release.
I should have like, hey, are you getting Conjure One? Just like all 500 cards. Right. Anyway, it's still a big deal to me, and I am going to the record store once it dies down. So maybe they'll have it. And I was like, duh, the record label got in touch with me and said, hey, do you want one? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that can happen too.
Well, it's more fun to see it live. When we had our
I wanted to see that.
Bookstores, it's fun to, show the front cover, have the front cover sticking out.
Oh, yeah. I move it from the place that it's in if I think it's too far back. And it was like, just 3 copies on the on the very special book area in the front. Like, it's still a good book.
It doesn't look like in this store self-help is a popular section. It's more comedy today. And then we'll move it around.
Right.
Ooh, it just became the store pick of the day.
Ooh, they really like us here.
Yeah. I did cryotherapy the other day where you go into, there's this
sounds like good drugs
cylinder. You walk in and it's negative 250 degrees. What? Without exaggeration.
Like you walk into a cylinder?
Yeah.
Upright?
Yes. So your head's sticking out and this cold air is freezing you, and it's supposed to be good for any aches and pains. But you know what? So the woman there, she says, do you know the benefits of cryotherapy? I'm like, yeah.
Start crying.
Yeah, it makes my wife happy when I do stuff she does. That's the benefits. So I go, okay, you can tell me. And she goes, oh, you don't know? I'm like, well, you offered.
Right.
So tell me. And she goes, it helps with, and this is the way she's saying it, it helps with pains. It helps with
etc.
vitality. And I'm like, forget it. Okay. I'm here. I'm obviously doing it. But come on. They have a brochure, and that spend time in your brochures. It makes the whole thing seem a little ghetto. You can do it. You can do a cryofacial, and this says you'll get more youthful skin, popular with models and celebrities. Okay.
Popular with models and celebrities.
They're all doing it. Cryotherapy has been seen on NBC.
TV.
Yeah, NBC.
Your internet.
Yeah, not their place. The entire idea has been on NBC, CBS, and ABC.
That's great, though.
Yeah.
I feel like most people would be fine with that. Also, how many people do you think are sitting there actually reading their brochure? It's funny that you read their brochure and knew where their stupid mistakes were, but what is cryogenic good for? Health things.
Right.
You learned nothing.
No, I didn't.
You didn't have any bullet points?
Your
wife will like you.
It increases the feeling of physical relaxation. It improves mood and sleep.
How cold is this thing? I didn't know cold is good. Cold is terrible.
I thought that killed people, but
so I died.
And isn't Siberia just a terrible place to?
Can you? Yeah, you get punished to go there. Meanwhile, I'm paying $90.
Yeah.
How cold is cold?
How do you mean?
Like how cold are they getting you?
Negative 250, no exaggeration.
But your body can't withstand to be at negative
for 3 minutes, and apparently it can.
And how do you feel? Like right after or during?
Weird.
Like a popsicle?
It's just, I don't know, just weird. And I'm like, does my knee feel better? I think it feels better. Right. Could it feel better right away? How many times do I have to do this?
He starts doing 100 squats. But, still good.
Right.
Still good.
But now my knee hurts, so who knows?
So why did she want you to do this? Like, what was she hoping for?
It was a gift. It was a birthday gift, but some gift. New video games are coming out all the time, but I get to step inside a fucking freezer. She's done it before. She likes it, so she's like, "You want to do it with me?" And I'm like, "All right." Another gift I'm getting is going on a diet. Apparently, very excited.
What was that like, opening that present?
It's an apple.
Right.
It's about time.
I'm like, you didn't give me anything. Right. It's the gift of not food.
It's like an apple and a look.
Yeah. And a look.
Well, no one could give you a worse card than your parents. So.
Happy birthday, and try to go to church. Make it a you day. By the way, I despise glitter, of course. It never goes away where adults grow up.
Glitter is like the devil of my religion.
Yes.
So I have the questionnaires, and if you do bad things, glitter will come to you. It just will. That's how glitter happens.
I cannot find a card without glitter when I'm trying to find cards.
Weird, right?
It's very, very odd. And on my birthday, I got cards from people that know me, say they care for me with glitter on them. I had all these odd jobs, so this isn't as crazy as it sounds. But I worked at a card making place. So anytime you see like some tricky card, that needed glued together, something like that, I did that job. My point is, it's not a law that you have to put glitter on cards. You can make them without glitter.
That's insider information.
Yeah.
Keith Malley.
I remember I was going to be some manager at this card making place.
How long? What is this job that you worked 5 minutes in that you were going to become a manager?
I was hired as a manager, but then right away they're like, okay, so glue these 500 cards along with everybody else. And
can you manage that?
Right. You said manager. You know what I mean?
They're testing you.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be the manager.
I tell people to do that.
They want to see if you can delegate. How'd you do?
I lasted a month.
That's a long time for you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get a paper cut?
I don't know if I did. I work smart.
Okay, so you wore gloves.
So, yeah, I wore giant mittens. I mean, the cards came out a mess.
It's difficult.
Did you glue 500 cards? Did you end up doing that work, or did you manage?
Yeah, of course I did it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So somebody got my card and gave it as a gift, and I changed someone's life that day.
Mm. Did you think of like putting secret messages in it somehow?
Yeah, I put jokes like people write in pizza boxes.
Remember when Spooky was trying to convince us that a pizza delivery guy was the best fucking job in the world fucking ever fucking for life?
Yeah. Why he didn't take that job, I don't know. But, yeah, he loved it. Oh, he did. He did that for a while, right? And yeah,
he did.
He did do it, and he loved it. I don't know why he didn't go back. But, yeah, it's like you're kind of your own boss. You go to people's houses. You give them pizza. They're happy to see you.
Right.
You go back. Get more pizza.
King
At the end of the
world.
night, you can eat any leftover pizza. And we would make mistakes with the pizza. Guess who gets to eat those? The
Wink
employees.
face.
Oh, he loved it. Loved it. This person...
Shout out to the pizza delivery guys. You are the lords of my religion.
This is a really complicated religion.
God, you'll follow it. It's cool. I mean, in other religions, you get a book. I'm still writing mine.
Oh, that's great.
This is part of it. So, you know what? In other religions, somebody else writes the book after somebody says it, right? There should be books coming in the future.
By the way, you got a tattoo live on stage.
Yeah.
Did you have a microphone? Like, yay!
Yeah, I actually I interviewed the person while she was giving me the tattoo, and then
You had to come up with questions too?
Yeah, I had little note cards, and it was really interesting.
And how long have you been doing this?
I would mostly get like really quiet and really calm and have like a very soft feminine voice. Be like, how are you doing? What's it like to tattoo in Long Island?
It's a pretty big tattoo to be doing on stage.
Yeah, it's a fun one,
How do you describe it?
It's the Venus of Willendorf.
Definitely.
So fertility goddess forever on my chest.
From House Gryffindor.
Yep, for House Gryffindor, ancient House Gryffindor.
Did it mean anything to you to get that?
It was kind of important. The big thing about our show is kind of giving a voice to artists and also really thinking about the root of art.
It sounds like you're giving a tattoo to artists.
Yeah, or getting a tattoo from an artist and then exposing people who wouldn't necessarily go out to see an artist talk.
How did you choose that tattoo?
Online contest.
Where someone picks what you have tattooed on you?
Yeah, and it was submitted, and then the
How
amount
many
of
dicks
likes.
got submitted?
There's many dicks. I think. I mean, there wasn't as many people that submitted because this was pretty early on in our show, but we had maybe 20 dicks. And then just like some really weird stuff. It came neck and neck to this and a drawing that my friend submitted of his face smoking a cigarette attached to a foot.
His face?
Yeah, that he drew on his break at a cheese shop. And so he just sent that, and I was like, and it got really close. I think it had like 70 likes, and the other one had like 73.
Now,
would you?
Yeah, if Dix did win,
If Dick's won.
and I don't know how it did, would you have got a dick tattoo?
Yeah, I would have shaved the side of my head and gotten a dick on the side of my head and then let my hair grow out.
Oh, so it didn't matter where.
Yeah, it didn't matter where.
So
I
you'd
was
be a
allowed to choose
dickhead.
that. Yeah, well, I would be a dickhead, but what would happen is when I die, I would have orders to have my head shaved, so when people come to my open casket, they go, "Grandpa's got a tattoo of a penis on his head."
Oh my
So,
God! And you should
like,
put
do
in
that.
your will that everyone has to kiss your head.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Like, yeah.
I may get that tattoo now.
Oh my God!
Speaking of which, did I read your grandpa did die fairly recently, right?
Yeah, he died.
Did they
back
shave
in
his
November. No, I don't know what happened to him. He was cremated by the time the plane landed, so that just happened really fast.
Were you guys close?
We were sort of close. I lived kind of far away, and he lived in Missouri, and I was in Maryland for most of my life, but like we saw each other quite a bit.
Your mom's dad, or?
It was my dad's dad.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he actually left me a leather jacket, and he died making soup, but he didn't want soup. My grandma made him make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and he was like, I'm going to make soup anyway. And then they found him at the kitchen, and he had soup, and he was dead. And I guess that's kind of dark, but whatever.
That's the story. That's the story.
So now every time somebody tells me, like, cool leather jacket, I go, cool, thanks. My grandfather died, and he gave it to me, and he died making soup.
Like,
was he wearing?
Well, enjoy the jacket. Okay, bye.
I didn't even know he had it. It was just my grandma was like, he wanted you to have this. I was like, why did he have a leather jacket?
The other day we were talking with Andrea, and Andrea was talking, and we ended up talking about the clever sign that you can see on the website that said the bar on April 15th was offering my signature drinks, Hulk Juice, and the Orange Fuck You. And
are we having him critique it? Because that would be so good.
as an artist, he'll take a look.
Yeah.
This person writes, at the bar for Keith's stand-up, I did in fact see what looked like a crayon-written sign on the end of the bar and said the drink specials, Orange Fuck You, shot, and Hulk Juice. I couldn't remember what was in them, but I'm like, fuck it. It's booze and who cares? The bartender seemed confused when I ordered the drinks, and I was like, oh, great. These signs aren't even real. Of course I'm ordering unicorn drinks off of a fucking crayon sign. I got
Who's
a shot.
hearing this?
So she goes, I'll take the Orange Fuck You. They gave her a shot of vodka and a shot of orange soda separately.
That's actually good. It's a good chaser, I think.
And I'm like, well, when in Rome, down the hatch. Anyways, the shot does indeed make you go, oh, fuck you. I thought the crayon was a nice do-it-yourself Pinteresty touch. Yeah, you know what? I said that. I go to the bartender. I'll have an Orange Fuck You. And she goes, how would you like that? And I'm like, no way. I would like it no way and forget this whole fucking thing. I assumed you were told.
You know what? I assumed that also because it was on the chalkboard behind the bartender. So I assumed like either the bartender had to do it or it's like part of what they look at for the specials or something. Right. And I was like, let me not micromanage and be like, you heard about the shots that are written right next to you. And then it turns out you got to do it.
Yeah, we didn't just make up words.
Orange Fuck You and Hulk Juice. Just go with it.
Right.
What's in a Hulk Juice?
A Hulk Juice is Mountain Dew and vodka.
I'd drink that.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty. Yeah. Let me mention this. Sleep Number beds. That's the way to play it. Get comfortable sleep. Spring is in the air. You know what that means?
Back problems.
Back problems. Well, no longer. Yeah, I'm not really sure about the spring point. But what I'm saying is they have excellent beds. And
they don't have shitty springs.
Right. Look, they have, you can set your side of the bed a certain firmness, okay? And the other side, for my wife, she can set it, I let her set it herself, actually.
Wow, progressive.
She could have her own setting, and now we're comfortable. You know, you don't wake up cranky, upset. You're thrilled to be put into an ice chest. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, imagine you can have like a coffee pot that makes like your two different kinds of coffee in the morning.
Great point.
You know, like you don't want to buy two coffee machines so that you can make like a lighter coffee for you, darker coffee for you. This is coffee pots don't even cost that much. Beds, hundreds of dollars, big investment. That's why you got to go to Sleep Number, because then you can get two beds in one. You can decide on your firmness whenever you want. It's like going out and getting a new bed without going out and getting a new bed.
They also have Sleep IQ technology. It tells you how well you slept, and then you can adjust it. If you're like, oh, I didn't sleep so good last night, let's call on the phone, talk to somebody, or look at my app and figure it out myself, and it just gets better and better. 90 Sleep Number, this guy, me.
That's a lot.
That's fucking huge.
That's a lot.
It's honest to God, it's a Guinness record.
In New York City, of all things.
Yes.
Yeah.
My Sleep Number setting, if you're curious, 35.
I went 35 last night.
See?
Good stuff. Thank you for the recommendation.
If you have a Sleep Number bed, put it to 35. It's like we're sleeping together.
Let us know how you feel.
Go in now and save on clearance beds and bedding as Sleep Number makes room for their newest innovations. Right now, you can save $500 to $1,000 on selected beds, plus up to 40% off clearance pillows.
Can I just, a little caveat here? If you don't need to spend $500 to $1,000, could you please use the code anyway and then just mail us $500 to $1,000?
You'll only find Sleep Number at any of the 550 Sleep Number stores nationwide. Find the one nearest you by going to sleepnumber.com and be sure to tell them Keith and the girl sent you. Okay? All right. Now, that's everybody's favorite segment. Here's everybody's second favorite segment, the polls.
Yes.
Keith and the girl polls. People love it.
I sweat over them.
They're frothing at the mouth.
I take polls to try to answer my polls.
We, of course, told you one person celebrated 420 differently.
We're learning a lot.
Yeah, but we have other polls to go over. Whose side are you on regarding animal fucking / eating?
One of those you have to really listen to the show carefully before you answer.
Keith's or Hernandez. And what we were talking about, of course,
is who you like better.
Hernandez brought up the point. That what's the matter? People are fucking animals.
Nope, not my point.
I'm not done. If we're gonna treat the animals cruelly as we do, and kill them and eat them, she believes in the same plane.
No,
is animal fucking.
No, okay. Yes and no. Your paraphrasing is always a little strange. I think that everyone being all up in arms about having, like, a person having sex with an animal is interesting when every day we're hearing about the horrendous things that animals are going through in order for us to eat it. We have documentaries about it where we get all upset and everything. And Keith wants people who have sex with animals to get killed. And so I'm like, all right, then do you also want farmers and the people who are treating these animals terribly for your food to also get killed?
Yes, I do. Of course I do.
Then I think we agree. All right, you guys, the show's over.
I want everybody dead. Of course. So, you know, I had a hamburger. All of a sudden it's the same as if you caught me fucking a cow. Come on.
See, again, I don't know that I said that, but I will rewind.
You should understand that that is what you're saying. Keith or Hernandez, whose side were you on? Listen to this. 54% is on Hernandez's side. And having a BLT, you might as well just be pig fucking.
Did not say that.
Holy cow.
Just very strange.
This person.
I don't know. You know, I don't want to say this out loud in front of Keith and in front of a mic, but having sex with an animal and force feeding it until you slaughter it, and until then it doesn't get to move by an inch
is the same.
What would you rather?
What would I rather?
Yeah.
I
somebody have sex with
than
you.
Fuck a...
So you'd rather me force feed you?
Oh, you're right. I do like sex. Okay. Keep fucking animals, people. Jesus Christ.
I'm actually against factory farming. I grew up on a farm, and
we should kill you.
We should kill me. Yeah, definitely. We were a very hippy-dippy organic farm and very anti, you know.
Bad stuff.
Yeah.
Were you able to sustain... Were you poor? Did that
you die?
affect? Yeah, like
this was like my dad's weird hobby. He was a pilot and bought a farm and said, "You run it. This is going to make you a man."
Oh, that's not his hobby.
Yeah,
right. I have a hobby. Can you do it?
Yeah,
right.
It was insane.
This person, Trent, says, "I think Hernandez's stance isn't that we should fuck animals.
Thank you.
It's that we shouldn't eat or fuck animals or mistreat them at all."
Maybe just the mistreatment. I think that we could eat animals without mistreating them. Is that weird?
No, I totally agree.
Okay.
It's hypocritical to say don't fuck them, but do torture and murder them. And I said, Trent, I'm off today. Let's keep this going all day long. No, actually, I wrote, is shooting a deer the same as fucking it? And then he wrote back, Keith, is shooting a person the same as raping it?
See, I shouldn't have compared this. Like, now when I'm hearing it, and as I was saying it, I'm like, what kind of weird shit is that? Like, if you were kidnapped and somebody said, like, I either shoot you or rape you, what kind of... What kind of shit are you proposing here? I take it back.
Many would say, yes, murder and rape on par. So why not the same measure for animals? And I said, is that what many would say? Just say yes, that if you saw me fucking a goat, it's the same as me killing a goat. You would just shrug. You see me fucking a goat and being like, the way animals are treated nowadays. You know what I mean?
Do you know how many times my mother said, I swear to, like, I think at least 100 times she said, I would rather be murdered than raped. I'm like, I put you down for that, Mom, like last year. We get it.
He said, let's change it to a dog. If I saw you fucking a dog, I might be just as disturbed as if I saw you killing a dog. If you go to one of these countries, I don't know, let's make up China, and let's say they serve dog. You know, I don't know what countries serve dog, but we know what happens. You'd be like, man, that's fucking barbaric. But you would have a different reaction than if you walk down the street and people are fucking dogs. It's their way. It's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Come on. Liars.
I would hope to not walk in on any of those by accident.
Well, you will. They sell it on the street in kebabs. Number one.
What kind of kebabs? Hey-o. See where kebabs could be both things because people consider their sausage a kebab.
Oh, I didn't know.
See where sausage is a dick.
Oh, we're learning things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this guy's goofy. You want to eat meat, he says, so you fool yourself into thinking it's okay to kill them. But objectively, it is no more okay than fucking them. All right. You fucking liars! You don't mean it, because if you're going on a date with somebody and they go, oh, I eat meat, you're like, I wonder if I want to be with somebody who eats meat. But if they go, hey, I fuck animals, that'd probably be a deal breaker.
No, because
without
here's the
question.
thing. So the guy who says I fuck animals has a pleasure in it that is gleaming in his eye that I'm not interested on a date. The guy who says I slaughter animals because I'm a farmer is different than the guy who says I kill animals to watch them be tortured and drain their blood. I think there's a difference. Also, if we decided that there's no more meat to be eaten, I'm into it. I am into it, and that is very hypocritical because I did have beef this week. I try not to buy a lot of meat in my grocery shopping, in my day-to-day. It is so much easier and cheaper to find food with meat in it. But yeah, I'm absolutely a hypocrite. Every time I eat meat, I'm a hypocrite. How can I say I care about animals? What's the difference between a pig and a dog? I don't know much about animals, and they say that pigs are smarter than dogs. I'm not going to argue that because I've never had a pig or a dog. So, and by the way, your psychological thing where if someone's having sex with a dog, they're more psychologically apt to have sex with a minor is also if somebody tortures an animal is also psychologically prone to mass murders and other psychological issues as well. So I do think that both of these things, depending on where you're coming from, although sex with an animal, you could pretty much only be coming from one place. Yes, they probably... It comes with other things, but I
felt bad eating bacon the other day because she's like, basically, I'm just fucking animals.
I totally didn't eat bacon, but yes, I would feel, yes, probably the cow that I ate had that feeling for me. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like I have trouble sometimes eating meat because I start thinking about it. Eggs, why are we eating eggs? If every time I think about why we're eating eggs, I go on like a no egg eating thing for 6 months. And let me tell you how difficult brunch is with no eggs.
You ever tried to talk to a chicken?
I have.
They're not offering much.
It's really not.
What happened to you? No?
I put a chicken in I put a chicken in a dress once for a contest.
That's fine.
How'd you do?
I won. I was 13. And it was like the town fair. And we put in a dress and we got like $100.
That's big time.
It was awesome. Me and my brother thought we were genius. We almost killed that chicken, though. It overheated. We kept like trying to give it water. You hate me right now. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm a monster, too.
I'm just thinking you might as well fuck it.
No.
It's all the same.
You're going to get salmonella, man. I don't want that.
We had on Kevin Allison. And, of course, we get into his piss play every time.
Water sports, everybody. I had to learn it. Now I pass it to you.
So we asked the audience, would you let someone piss on you for free? 30% say yes. It is the exact poll we put up 1 year ago with Kevin Allison. Word for word, would you let someone piss on you for free? Back then, 44% say yes. So in a year, people are trying to stay away from piss play.
You know why? Because maybe in that year, about 13% of them tried it and opted out at this point. Interesting. You guys, are you growing or regressing? Or both? Because you can opt out.
Right. This person, RJ, on Twitter wrote, at Keith, heard that one dude telling his piss stories. Weird. To each his own, I suppose.
Why do you need to write to each his own? Like, do you understand that the no writing of to each his own means to each his own, and the you writing to each his own is you didn't sense a tone in that? Is it just me?
It's a little folksy. I feel like he's like a little folksy when he adds that in there. You know?
I mean, no disrespect, but ...
Yeah,
bless his heart, but ...
It's very southern. Bless his heart.
You ever piss on somebody for fun?
No disrespect.
No, I haven't even really thought about it, honestly.
That's
I
why
mean,
we're
if somebody
here.
wanted me to, I guess.
Like if they begged you?
Yeah, if they beg me. I feel like it's really messy, and I'd have to be really organized about it. I'd be like in the tub or something, and be like, let's get clean first. Is it sanitary? I don't know. My mind
I know,
could go
right?
1,000 miles.
That's how I feel with food and sex. I'm just like, I get why whipped cream sounds really good, but whipped cream is really sticky, and you're going to put it on the body parts that I have to wash extra. Like, that's just...
And then you're at work, and you're like, why is my armpit sticky? And it smells like bad cream. So you're like...
I don't know. But Baby wants to do this thing eventually where we, like, are like, covered in oil and, like, going at it, and I'm just like, okay. So I'm just like, and I hate having this response. I'm just like, that seems messy. Like, I don't want to clean it. He's like, I'll totally clean. I'll put tarps down. I'm like, I totally get how that could be a thing. I just don't. And then I'm like, who gives a shit? So we came up with, we'll rent a hotel. We'll put tarps down. We'll have a blast. Maybe like one of those hotels. Like, I don't know why this is so funny.
Just make sure to have some... Like, have some traction down, so you I'm worried about you slipping and like breaking something.
I'm not a very balanced person. I like fall without heels.
Okay, like have a spotter or like an emergency life alert or something.
Anytime you switch position, you run into the TV. Another broken lamp. Turn around.
But you never want to say no to like sexual fantasies of your partner, right? I mean, I don't want to say no.
Here's Alyssa's guessing that people are staying away from piss play because now it's associated with Trump. You don't want to think you're into something that Trump's into.
No, he will not take this from us. We cannot do this. The terrorists cannot win.
You can't help it. You can't make a fun reference to the Cosby Show anymore, for example. Some things just get ruined.
Would you say that some of them get rudied?
I wouldn't even say that anymore. I can't even enjoy that humor.
Grant hated himself when he was saying that joke. Would you say that? Oh, fuck my life.
So anyway, I bring up this guy, RJ. He's the one that I was talking about the other day that wanted me dead, threatened to kill me, and then all of a sudden he's okay. And he's like, hey, that piss story was weird, wasn't it? It's like, you wanted me murdered. And now you're just moving on. And I write...
You're really good at keeping track of that.
You don't forget.
No, I'm very bad at it. Like, I'll like a post and Keith will text me like, do you remember when this guy said you're the worst human on earth? And I'm like, oh, he sounded familiar. That sucks.
I wrote, this was the puppet guy I was talking about that wanted me dead, but somehow we're pals again. Cheers, buddy. And he writes, cheers to you. I've lost 50 pounds, by the way. Hashtag humble brag.
The humble brag has now just turned into brag.
Right. So I wrote, fuck you.
Humble brag.
So then he says, I'm not upset. Are you bipolar or something? I'm having a hard time figuring you out. So I said, check the messages you sent me, you weirdo. Like I just picked you out and started talking crazy, and you're okay with that? He rates back, sigh.
You guys really stay on topic on the forum.
Yeah, I go, sigh. I only wished you death, you piece of shit, sigh. Apparently I'm okay with you now for whatever reason, but you're upset. Sigh. Fuck you, RJ. Piece of shit. I just wanted to say piss play isn't my thing. Can't we move on?
People change.
Yeah. Somebody, Christian, he wrote some status on Facebook.
Oh, this one. Oh, my goodness.
And he included,
I was so trying with him.
And he included me in it, and he's talking about some death he just found out, but it happened years ago. I didn't really get what he was saying at all.
Okay. Super supportive guy. During my tumor, he was like this, that, and the next. Absolutely. But I'm like, I remember this guy. You had a beef with him a while ago.
It's just weird. It's something weird. So
but I stayed neutral through all that. And then this goddamn post that I think you're about to read, and I'm like, that's it. I can't with you.
Right. It's not. It wouldn't make sense if I read it, to be honest. But anyway, but that doesn't stop me from writing something. Like, wow, way to make some death about you, or, whatever I wrote. So then he deletes my comments, so I can't write anymore. but then the like stays there. If you delete my comments and ban me from writing, you don't get to keep my like. That's rude.
Don't teach Keith how to unlike anything.
Yeah, I know. You could. I tried. I can't. I can't change anything. So,
he blocked you completely.
So he has my like.
Wow.
I want my like back.
Wow.
I want it back, sir.
This is just like fucking animals. By the way, Christian, I know you're having a hard time. I know your wife just left you for absolutely no reason.
He keeps writing. I want to know the post. He keeps writing 27 years, and my best friend and wife just left me over a post. Well, then, what is the post? You're including me.
It sounded like he had anger issues, and he's afraid that she's going to... You guys, come hang out with us on Facebook. It is just fantastic.
Let's talk about some news real quick. If we can all get together and stop telling North Korea that their missiles are failing.
Are missing completely.
They do these tests and the missiles keep failing and people are like laughing at them. Tell them they're doing good.
What do you think we should go? #ouch.
A great job on your missiles this weekend, and
you really got us.
And that's a totally normal haircut. No, good job, North Korea. Don't be laughing at them. Tell them they're doing great. Went right in the ocean. That's fantastic. Good job. Aaron Hernandez, he killed himself in jail, most likely over being gay.
Or bisexual, I heard.
27 years old. He was a New England Patriot. He served a life sentence for the 2013 murder of semi-pro football player Odin Lloyd. The ex-NFL player had also been charged with a 2012 double murder, but was found not guilty a couple days before he killed himself. Supposedly, he smoked synthetic marijuana before he killed himself.
I don't know. I don't like this. I saw it on the cover of papers, and I'm like, oh, he killed himself because he's bisexual? Like, wasn't he up on charges for killing people?
He also, and then maybe killed somebody that was going to out him for being gay. He absolutely left a letter for, his wife, but also for this gay lover he had in jail.
But I also feel like I would kill myself because people are about to keep me in jail for a really long time. And
he put soap on the floor so that if he tried to get down somehow, he couldn't, so that the floor would be slippy. I guess that's a little secret. He wrote a Bible verse on his forehead in red marker. He wrote John 3:16.
Is that the anti-gay one?
That's God sent his only begotten son to save the world.
What is that? He's Jesus? What does that mean?
Who knows? It's just he's like, that's the only one I can remember.
That's a popular one. I see 3:16 everywhere.
Well, isn't that the one Stone Cold used to have?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right on.
Yep.
What's this?
It's a wrestler, and he would.
No, I know that, but we need a Christian for the why 3:16. Why is everyone obsessed with 3:16?
Because it's like the most powerful verse, I guess. It's telling you we're bringing you Jesus.
Oh, we're about to be saved.
Yes.
Oh, so he's killing himself and about to be saved.
I believe so.
Pure logic. This is reasonable.
You don't want to be up there at the gates, and St. Peter's like, are you a good guy or bad? Oh, John 3:16.
Oh, I see.
Right this way.
Yeah, he's prepared.
Acknowledged.
Right. Another football player accidentally ran over his 3-year-old daughter.
Shit.
Todd Heaps. He was behind the wheel of the truck when he accidentally struck his daughter while moving the vehicle forward outside their home. The girl
forward. Oh, fuck. I was going to say how backwards because, usually those guys have one of those, you could see the stuff on the screen from the back when you hit reverse. But those trucks, you can't see shit.
Right.
A 3-year-old, yeah, they're like the height of your tires.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
No, the worst is the looks you get from your wife forever.
Yeah, I don't think you have a wife anymore because I don't know who could even, manage that, let alone one of you was quote responsible for it. I don't, I feel like that's something I can do. That's why I don't drive anymore. I don't have kids. Opt out.
You don't play football.
I don't play football.
That's important.
I don't get scholarships. I don't. Yeah.
When all the news came out about Bill O'Reilly, they put him on. They gave him a little break. He's saying, "Oh, I'm just taking a vacation." That's some timing. All these women are accusing me of a sexual harassment. I think I'd want to stay on the air and talk about it. Now's a good time for a vacation.
But I also love that you get to have a vacation while people are doing while people are outing you. There's so many other reasons to have vacation.
Well, on vacation, he was fired. So he'll probably only get $25 million. But But that's the end of the O'Reilly Factor.
There's no justice.
He still has a podcast, though, called the No Spin News.
There's no justice.
You'll still be able to hear him if you want.
I don't think there is.
No, $25 million, but you don't have to go to work anymore.
Oh, he's literally just going to move to Breitbart. That's what I feel. He's just going to pop up on some nightmare website and crazy people like him.
Right. Like you can, even if somebody doesn't scoop him up, it's the fact is that like you think that that's a punishment. You know, once again, he's in the news. Once again, like he got away with it. What didn't he get? Tell me what he didn't get away with. Going on vacation, 25 million. What happened to him?
They just made his vacation slightly a little bit uncomfortable.
Right. Somebody let me know why it's not worth sexually harassing all of your female employees, because I have a bunch of them now.
By the way, speaking of killing yourself, I was in an Uber pool, if we're allowed to use Uber. If not, it was a different car service. And the
somebody download something on Keith's phone. My God.
The woman comes into the car, and she's on her phone the whole time. And she's like, "I said I won't kill myself." And now, you know, I'm in her life now. And she's like, I don't know. I'll sign a contract. No, I'll sign it. Why would you sign it? I'm talking about not killing myself. It doesn't make sense why you would even sign it. And she had absolutely no shame. And you ever eavesdrop so long you feel like you have to say goodbye to the person?
I think the person with no shame possibly is on the other side. Like, what place is she in that you're like, why would it make sense that I would sign it, sweetheart? I get that you would sign it, but it feels like you haven't. Yeah, it's not a good place. This isn't working out well, both of you.
Right. Mark is writing in from California. Hey, guys, just wanted to drop and say I recently purchased the Keith and the Girl VIP, and I am loving it. I binged all the My Name is Keith in about a week and a half.
You're crazy now.
Andrea's show is great, and I've been listening to the old shows, something I did years ago back in 2009, 2010. Anyway, it was before you introduced VIP. I was wondering, though, whatever happened to John Petrie? I listened to the I Found You John Petrie show today, and I'm searching on your site for any references to him, but nothing. Did you end up visiting him in jail? He's in jail, New Orleans. I did not visit him. I was wondering, do I bring in secret recording equipment from this piece of shit that stole?
The thing is the production aspect of it was larger than anticipated. Like, first of all, we don't live there, so, you know, it's not like Keith would go down by himself. I'd go down with him, and then Peter, who's the one who found him, was thinking of coming, so I'd feel weird not, like, flying him over after all the work. So that's already 3 flights round trip, right? We're coming back, I assume? Okay. Then getting in touch with the jail, you can't just walk in with a camera. Then we're talking about, do we put Keith in glasses where the camera's on it? And, like, it just, I don't think financially we were in a time for that. I don't know that we discovered, like, crowdfunding for this kind of thing. I feel like that would have been. So we had to let a lot of things in this biz you got to let go. That's just really sad.
But speaking of VIP, I don't mention this enough. For $1, you can try out VIP. Every show we've ever done over 12 years. $1.99. And all the spin-off shows. And I know it's shocking because you're like, did you just up the price by 100%?
No, by 99%.
But take a look. Grant, if you want to look at your artwork, your performances, go to grantdraws.com. Take a look at what you're up to. The Twitter account is GV Lindahl. GVLINDAHL.
What's your favorite drug now?
Acid.
Acid?
Hands down.
How come?
Probably had the best enlightening experiences on acid, and I think it's kind of a drug that you have to kind of really plan around, and I think it's one of those drugs where when you're on it, when you're having a bad time, you're really just fighting yourself, and you're fighting your insecurities. And I think every time I do it, I learn something about myself and kind of grow as a person.
God, they really need to make that illegal. Look at the terrible things he just said. My goodness.
Mike Kaplan learned to be nice to people.
Aww.
That was a big revelation.
Oh, my God, Mike Kaplan. We had a theme fighting, and then we invited Mike Kaplan. Okay, it's our bad.
Mike Kaplan's story, if you recall. This isn't an exaggeration, but he dragged it on like... It took half an hour for him to tell it.
It was the sweetest. It was like, we're totally okay now.
I was with my pal, Zach Sherwin. Beep, bop. And we're doing a show. And the show didn't go well. But on the way home when we were driving, just to loosen the tension, I joked, "Gee, Zach, I wish you didn't suck on stage." And Zach said, "I don't know why you just said that to me." The end. That's his big fight.
It was hard.
And then he was upset, like, "Guys, that was a big fight." I'm like, get the fuck out.
So sweet.
Yeah, good guy. Runs an art collective. This is Grant, called Art School Acid, and you have a live comedy show at the Creek in the Cave. True or false?
True.
All right. The next live show will be May 19th at 10 p.m. if you want to check it out. And you have a podcast about art history, but it's not boring like you would think, right?
No, it's super weird.
Art School Acid podcast. And you can listen to it on acid, off acid, however you want. You can get that on SoundCloud. And like we covered, his grandfather died.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did a show about him, and we scattered fake ashes onto the audience. And there was a bunch of like fake ashes we made, and it was super weird. We did like these kind of like Magnolia parodies, and so it was like all these vignettes of all the people in the collective's family members that have died. And so people were like, "Oh, it's a comedy show," but then we come out and it's like very surreal, and I'm just like, "My grandfather died making soup," and then at the end we had a fan and we threw ashes at people.
Oh my God! Acid.
What was the soup? What kind?
Oh my God, I gotta call my dad and ask him.
Yeah.
Italian wedding. No,
yeah, probably.
that's such a difficult soup.
It's probably something very Midwestern, like tomato.
Well, Grant, very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to you tomorrow.